Gypsy Charros can chop, but can she outbuild the Prince of Pro Street, Kim Suter?
We're gonna have the biggest tire, biggest engine.
I want a damn win. I want to win.
So all you boys and girls better get it on.
10 days to build. 700 miles to ride. Both sexes, one trophy.
May the best man win.
Or a woman.
In the southeastern corner of Alabama is the town of Dothan, known as the peanut capital of the world.
Fresh hot boiled peanuts from Dothan, Alabama.
Besides goobers, it's gearhead heaven. The home of the famed motorworks Accurate Engineering, where a new kind of bike builder gets to it.
My name's Gypsy. I wrench, I ride, I have no testosterone. I flipped this puppy about 3 weeks ago. Got a busted wrist out of it, but we gotta go build a motorcycle.
Day one. Gypsy Charros pencils in her steel pony.
Something that was reminiscent of the old days. Something where there was form and function, and it matched, and it was sweet, and it was tight.
She's going for brass age elegance on a brass knuckle chassis. Hardtail frame, hand shifter, Kickstarter.
No pressing the button, Kim. This is the real deal. Kickstart only.
Vivian Gypsy Charros, long haul rider, long-time trauma nurse, up-and-coming builder. In a word, a biker.
What other women go to get a manicure and a pedicure and a massage and a day spa, put me on a motorcycle, and that's all the relief I need.
She's been wrenching on Harleys since the 70s, when a woman's place on a bike was against the sissy bar.
Everything that I did was scrutinized. If my bike was too clean, I didn't ride it enough. If my bike was too dirty, I didn't care about my machine.
Now she's a divorcee with a college-age daughter. Houston, Texas is home. She's borrowing the shop in Alabama for the build, which starts with a bare frame designed by Gypsy and built by Bill Dodge.
It's meant to be a little bit, I hesitate to say feminine, but graceful. If a guy said it was a feminine frame, hey, you know, what can I say? I don't give a crap. So let's get some wheels on it.
Gypsy's wheels were a gift from Corey Ness, bone-shaped spokes and all.
They are the hottest thing on the market right now.
Mr. Ness is not her only friend in high places.
My team, Barry Wardlaw, he is the engine guru. Larry Couric, a very talented welder, has his own motorcycle shop, and a hell of a fabricator. Lots of good ideas.
The motor is a highly modified 1936 style knucklehead. Front end comes from a 1928 Moto Guzzi.
All right.
I got it.
There we go. Holy crap, look at that. That's just too sweet. 21 front and rear, unbelievable wheels, a motor that's never been done before, a frame that's one-off, and 1928 front end. Absolutely beautiful.
The fender will expose as much of the rear wheel as possible. Gypsy gets to chopping it.
Come on, baby. Thank you. What a beautiful wheel.
Our first woman builder wants to be first, period.
I want to damn win. I want to win. I want to win for those little girls that can go ahead and pull their mom in the living room and say, look, she did it.
1,000 miles west in Kansas City, the big kahuna of KC Creations rolls in for the build.
We're gonna build a badass bike. We're gonna have the biggest tire, biggest engine. So all you boys and girls better get it on.
In the world of custom motorcycles, Kim Suter dominates the Midwest. His shop pumps out 40 to 50 handmade high-dollar bikes a year. Kim's way is Pro Street, a mix of high performance and flowing bodywork, often imitated, seldom equaled.
You don't have to have KC anything on it. They can tell what kind of bike it is and who built it.
As for the name KC Creations,
A lot of people think that the KC Creations means Kansas City Creations, and most of the time we let people believe that.
KC Creations actually stands for Kim and Charro, which is, Cheryl's my wife, of course.
Kim and Cheryl Suter have been married since they were teenagers and raised 2 children. Cheryl does all the promotion and marketing for the shop because her husband isn't exactly given to self-promotion.
They call me the John Wayne of the motorcycle world. They say he don't say much, but when he does, you probably better listen. So what we got?
Kim's frame comes from Maximum Metalworks in Montreal, Canada.
Man, that sure got some good lines.
Softail style, built-in oil tank, $3,500. A build in Kim's shop is unique because the bodywork is fabricated right on the rolling chassis. The bike itself is the workbench. The process starts by assembling the rolling chassis. This 126 cubic inch S&S drag motor is one of only 2 in existence.
Man, this is something really new and cool. They say this thing makes about 160 horse at like 5,000 RPM. Now we're gonna do the transmission. Let's stick that bad boy in there. That's the starter. That's our Powermaster starter.
A Kickstarter is not an option.
Kickstart, you know, I've never tried to kickstart a motor this big. I don't know if you could do that. I don't think 2 men and a boy could kickstart this 126.
It's time for the rear wheel.
Now that's a tire.
It's not a Kim Suter bike without a ground-devouring tire. This one's a 330.
Look how smooth that is. It's starting to be a new marketing deal. Does this big tire make my look small?
The Tricky Air Springer front end has compressed air cylinders and a 47-degree rake.
As you put air in it, it goes up like so. And then your pressure regulates and it bounces back and forth.
Day 3. Let's burn some metal.
Gypsy's teardrop tank with dished-in sides is by Russ Wordamount. She needs to modify it to her one-off frame.
If this sits way down on the frame, it just doesn't follow the line of the bike, so it's going to sit up off the frame about 2 inches or so. So I just have to go ahead and cut some material and see what we can do about keeping that in place.
Gypsy has just quit her day job. She burned through her vacation time, then left her nursing position of 13 years to do this build.
I guarantee you that Kim Suter, when he finds this out, would have no problem in coming in second place to someone that committed, because that's a biker and that's a builder.
A friend once told me, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much room. And that's pretty much the way that I feel.
In Kansas City, fabrication begins on two fronts. Exhaust pipes, sheet metal.
That's just the template for the tunnel, and it's not long enough, but it gives me a good start on where I need to be.
Making the body work right on the bike takes the guesswork out of the fit and the look.
Right now we're getting ready to tack up our side piece to our gas tank, so we can start getting some looks here.
Exhaust pipes will be cut from oversized 2 1/4-inch mild steel bends. Ryan Ola is the local fabrication phenom.
He's just full of piss and vinegar, basically, which is why I brought him in, really. He's the 21-year-old that wants to be the champion. He wants to be the big-time fabricator, so he's driven.
I don't anything up. I just fix it before anybody notices.
He got the confidence going on today. Got it straight, what a guy. Do you think this ought to have maybe a radius instead of being straight?
Maybe we should do that.
That don't go with anything.
What are you talking about?
Looks like a drain pipe in a house for the bathroom.
It does. It looks like a plumber built this set of pipes.
That'll be fine on this.
Too simple.
But simple is better, you always say. Sometimes it goes easy, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to figure it out. But
We're gonna do it as many times as it takes to look bad.
I think just like that, then it won't get the chrome dirty.
It looks clean, I'll admit.
Well, let's tack that baby on there. Yeah, those are pipes.
They're pipes, but they're ugly pipes.
The Kansas City exhaust pipes were a bust. Team Alabama tackles their own.
We have such sweet exhaust ports on this motor that you won't see on any other motor.
You just got to tell me where you want it.
My butt's here. My feet are going to be here, so I can't blow out here. I can't blow out here. It's almost going to have to come through here.
Stacked, 2 of them?
Yeah. That looks pretty sweet.
Okay. And that's good to there. Okay.
You've seen what Larry can do with pipe. That's a freaking art form. And Larry's been doing it for years and years and years. I am gentle, gentle. Oh, bring it on.
In KC, Ryan makes his case for a new exhaust.
Front one will come straight back, with a little jog down. The back one will come right underneath it, straight back, with a little jog down. Put them right together.
But that'll make,
They're gonna be right out here. I mean, they're gonna be out a little bit, but they're gonna look a lot better.
well, let's cut the damn pipes apart.
That's what I wanna hear.
So you want to do something like that?
Yeah. We'll bring this on. Pretty there, that'll look good.
They look like spaghetti. They're massive. They look like fuel bike pipes. These will be the loudest pipes on the biker build-off so far.
Yes, they're the biker build-off winning pipes, I do believe.
Enough said.
In Alabama, there's an antique roadshow. Biker style.
Didn't want a stock oil tank. So, well, a 1925 Pyrene fire extinguisher is just gonna have to work. I have a 1912 Brooks bicycle seat that I just thought was the coolest thing in the world with all these leaf springs and twisted springs. Who can't love that? Who can't love the way that that was put together?
Now the relics need to be turned into motorcycle parts.
For all you Pyrene fire extinguisher collectors, we harmed no parts in making this video.
The old brass is too thin to hold hot oil. They'll machine an inner sleeve out of aluminum.
This is the beginning of the material of the oil tank that will fit into here. This oil tank is going to hold 3 quarts, the perfect amount. And it will look like a fire extinguisher.
Broken wrist and all, Gypsy bends steel into the backbone for a seat support.
Piece of cake, can of corn.
"96-year-old twisted springs are bolted into place.
Frickin' Twinkie.
Okay, that's a sweetheart.
It would take an act of God, I think, for Kim to beat me now. Perfect.
You know what the cool thing about it is? Even if he does win, which we know what the odds are on that, Alabama barbecue is still better than Kansas City barbecue.
Ooh.
Kim's reply is a mouthful of Kansas City's finest.
Arthur Bryant's, the world-famous barbecue.
Now they'll take a bite out of the build.
We're ready to win this biker build-off.
From 14-gauge steel comes the top piece for the gas tank.
What are you doing?
Bent by hand until it's perfect to the eye. Casey Creations' latest is done. Curvaceous lines, hellacious performance.
This just feels fast.
All it needs is some eye-popping paint.
Let's give it to Scott and the boys and see what they can do.
It's your turn now. Look.
That better be the coolest paint job I've ever seen.
Day 7, down in the other East LA.
We're in East LA, East Lower Alabama.
In the shop is master painter and pinstriper Robert Pradke. The artist behind Indian Larry's Masterworks is best known for wild, multi-layered graphics. But for this bike, he's going minimalist. Subtle pinstripes and a single color, maroon.
It's just a traditional, nice dark maroon.
I'm I'm very happy with the color. I just want to make sure that it is not any shade of pink at all. I would never live that one down, but I think the maroon is really going to work with this.
The flashiest paint job usually brings the trophy home. The crew is taking a chance by going monochrome. Out in Kansas City, there's a toxic spill. A custom mixed shade of radioactive green.
Lime gold candy concentrate, and what that just makes it like Kool-Aid.
Scott lays out 23-karat gold leaf in tribal patterns.
On this side here, I've already started shading the gold leaf with some root beer candy. Give everything a little dimension, some depth. Just kind of have it all flow together, look real sharp. Hey, I got a little something for you. A little something for you. What do you think, Kim?
I like the gold leaf, I like the green. Got some sparkle to it. That's the deal, nobody should miss it. No, that's it.
All right, one more thing. May the best man win.
In Dothan, Alabama, it's day 8.
Backwards?
The finished frame is ready for the bike stand, dipped in rich maroon.
This is what Robert was here for. And it's not pink. And it's not pink. But what does this mean now? Jeez. It basically means holes and elbows. It means time to get down to business. Oh, sweetheart, it's beautiful.
Good, I'm glad you like it.
Incredible. I couldn't be more pleased.
With 2 days to go, final assembly begins.
Wow, that's hot. Yeah.
The KC Creation crew will assemble the beast.
Okay, now we ready?
Yeah.
Tilt it forward. Towards me some more. Clunk.
For the bike's lines to flow, the wiring clutter needs to go.
There's going to be a lot of bulk of wiring up in here, but we're going to try and tuck it all away so nothing's standing out too much if everything goes right.
Routing the wires is crucial. Since everything's hidden, a problem down the road will be hard to access. The rest of assembly goes like a pit stop.
So today we got from a bare frame, got the drivetrain all in, locked down, shimmed up, front ends mostly on, so we're in good shape.
And we're ready to go, and it's day 9. Yeah, day 9. Let's go.
Once corroded with rust, the 80-year-old front end is new again.
out.
Yet another antique touch, an ignition housing made of costly hardwoods.
Teak and mahogany.
Painted front cylinder, wooden magneto housing, and finally, chromed rocker box. The exotic knucklehead motor is ready for the bike, but another day has ticked off the clock.
24 frickin' hours. Am I panicked? Yeah. Am I nervous? Hell yeah. Are we gonna get this done? You betcha.
Next, up against the midnight deadline, both motors gotta run. How does it feel to be kickstart only now? Day 10 of the His and Hers build-off. By midnight, each bike must run or be disqualified. The Alabama crew kicks it into high gear. The mad scientist motor goes in for good.
Down, down, Bill. Look at your motor mount. That's your motor mount.
There you go.
Followed by the mutant oil tank.
The fire extinguisher oil tank is about complete. That's it. I'm done.
I can't think of but 2 components on the whole bike that haven't had some type of modification or were handmade. And that's the tires.
Next thing is everything. Everybody's working on something different. We got no time. Deadline, 12 o'clock, midnight. Not 2 weeks longer. Gotta go.
Out in Kansas City, the exhaust system gets the shop's signature look. Coal black pipes, mirror-like heat shields, with the bike's name cut into the chrome.
This says it all. Top rod.
A top rod is pure Pro Street. Huge 330 tire. High-end performance parts. Top shelf bodywork. Top rod!
Here comes the tank. Here comes the tank.
The crew is down to their last 2 hours.
Boy, there's a lot at stake for a lot of different people. I probably don't have a job when I get back to Houston. There's a lot of people that have put their own jobs at risk by coming down here simply because it's, you know, one of those never happen again kind of things. It's rock and roll.
Let's finish the cables up. Let's get this thing running. Let's go, go, go.
Kansas City. All Kim needs is a place to put the gas.
Got it.
You got it.
Hey, that looks cool. You added some more stripes. Okay, we got some.
All right, boys.
This is the moment of truth. Close. Ready?
Yeah.
160 horsepower vented through open pipes.
Sounds better. Ready?
Yeah.
That thing is low.
looks bad with you on it, Kim.
Does it, Scott?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Tell me again. Tell me
It looks
again.
bad with you on there.
Tell me one more time.
It looks bad, big sexy.
In Dothan, Alabama, the deadline's near.
Well, I'm terrified because I have about 40 minutes. It's not push a button, get a motor out of a crate. The motor's never been built before, never even been attempted before. And we have 40 minutes with no electric start. But if anybody can do it, these guys can.
All right, Gypsy, go ahead. Right at the bottom of the stroke. Right at the bottom of the stroke. You just want to push this on? No. Push that on through, push that on through. You're going to go on through.
Power on.
All right, we got it, we got it.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
It's about 9 o'clock.
Come on, baby.
Okay. All right, ignition off.
The spark plugs could be foul. Barry swaps them out.
Power on. Fixing to go. Power on. Let's go. Let's run it. Everything, just like that. Go ahead.
The motor refuses to fire. Less than half an hour to go.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
In Kansas City, the build is done. Just in time for bike night. Around Kansas City, the place to strut out the steel is Frankie D's.
Every Wednesday we have bike night here. And we've had we start from 350 to 500 to 915 bikes.
Frankie's the, what'd you call yourself? What'd you call it, the Godfather?
Godfather KCK.
That's it, Godfather KCK.
Yeah, he's the
Godfather
Godfather.
KCK.
So what's Frankie's take on the first male-female build-off?
It's a man's world. Believe me.
What if we get beat by a girl?
Oh,
That's who you need to be talking to.
more power to
Trinity.
us.
Yeah.
7 minutes left. No sign of life from the motor.
Got down to the last minute. So
At last, Barry learns why.
I had made a real neat looking wooden ignition system that failed out of the bottom
Getting
of it.
to the ignition
Best we
means
can.
partly disassembling the motor, which would take hours. Or he can do something drastic now.
You wouldn't believe the machine time in this sucker.
Hang on. Hold it so it doesn't.
You worked on that so hard.
The advantage to building in a motor shop is that there's no shortage of backup parts.
All right.
Barry swaps out ignitions.
You got the spark?
Fire.
You saw it?
Fire in the hole.
Fire this thing.
Seconds remaining.
Gonna go. Let's go. Let it cool down, let it idle down. Hang on. Let it idle down.
That's the most beautiful sound in the whole world. I'm tired. But suddenly, I'm not.
Moments from game over. It's game on. Gypsy Charros and her maroon chariot. 1928 front end. 1912 bicycle seat. one-of-a-kind knucklehead motor. Brass age elegance, brass knuckle lines. And Kim Suter's top rod. Custom bodywork flowing from raked out front end to porked out rear wheel. The pinnacle of Pro Street Custom. Split Rock Lighthouse on the northern shore of Lake Superior. Since 1910, this beacon on the bluff has prevented shipwrecks. Today, there are worlds colliding. Kim Suter's futuristic top rod. And the retro rocket of Gypsy Charros.
What do you think?
Wow, nice paint. Big tire. I kind of figured you'd go for the big inches and the big tires.
Gotta have something big.
I wasn't wrong.
I figured Barry'd do one of these big knuckleheads. Two completely different styles.
Wow, very different.
So you ready to go?
Good job, man. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's ride.
The ride. The Great Lake to the Big River. From the lighthouse in Minnesota to the Mississippi River at La Crosse, Wisconsin. Then down the Great River Road to Davenport, Iowa.
Getting on the motorcycles and rolling out of there. Incredible country. Just absolutely incredible country. It's a goosebump experience. It's that good.
Seeing some of the bridges and the rivers, and I really like riding through the old farms and the rolling hills and stuff. It's just a really neat country.
The next morning, La Crosse on the Mississippi. You never know what might drift down the river. Like the Chopper King himself, Hugh King.
Look, it's Chopper King.
Good morning, Kim and Gypsy. Ready to take a ride down the
Big River! The first leg of the river run is on the Mississippi itself.
I'm taking you down the Mississippi, but you're on your own now.
The Great River Road. Two-lane heaven for the rest of the run.
These are God's roads. These are the kind of roads that people that ride motorcycles pray for. And yeah, I've got some prayers answered.
Just 50 miles from the destination, the top rod suddenly loses power. Kim must fix his bike within the hour or be disqualified. With the finish line just 45 miles away.
All the rest of them are set.
Biggest problem on this, we tried to hide all the parts. So we end up having to take the gas tank off and part of the air dam out of the bottom to get to the parts. It's just one of the things for being cool. We think we found a wire rubbing up here. Maybe getting a intermittent short and burning up the coils. Hopefully we got that figured out. Okay, we better go.
I told him this morning, I said, he brought his big guns, I brought mine. Hell yeah.
The 12th annual Sturgis on the River, where for 3 days, 75,000 of the tribe gather together. Hosted by TV star at large, the Big Schwag.
It is the biggest Midwest gathering of bikers in the United States. And these people will go to event, so these are some hardcore bikers.
It's functional art. You ride it, you take care of it, you just look at it and love it.
I voted for Kim Suter. Woohoo! I like how far it's raked out. I like the color. It's very sexy.
For this one right here. Okay. The one with a pretty blonde on it.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's not waste any more time. Can I get the envelope, please? And the winner is Gypsy!
Kim Suter shows class all the way. Today's vote swung in favor of the Alabama crew. But something's been decided for all time. The Brotherhood of the Build now includes the Sisters.